welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. It's time for a new everyday makeup drawer, so I'm just going to shop my stash and I'm going to pick out some new products for my drawers right here. But first thing, I want to do a quick recap on all the products that were in my last everyday makeup drawer. There will be timestamps for you below in case you want to skip around to different parts. I will be including a get ready with me style portion at the end of the video as well, using the new products I picked out. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, just right here in this first group. Now, I always leave like my lash glue and my eyeshadow primer in here at all times, but then I did have the new CoverGirl products. These are some newer brow products to their line. We had the CoverGirl Clean Brow, the gel, and then like the pomade pencil. I am going to be taking these out and switching around. I am going to be leaving the Refi Brow Gel in here though, simply because I feel like I'm about to get an empty on this. I try to use it every single time that I do my makeup, so I am going to be keeping that one in here. Then I have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer and then the e.l.f. Cooling Primer Stick. I'm going to be taking those out and changing that up. Okay, right here I had the About Face, the Performer Foundation, the Win Beauty Skin Tint, the Milani Under Eye Brightener in Rose, the Fenty Concealer, and then the Win Beauty Concealer. I'm going to be replacing all of these. I want to have some fresh new complexion products, so I'm going to be replacing all of these. Now, the drawer I have here has every single mascara. I don't really take mascaras in and out of here. I just rotate these frequently. I did have two liners right here from ColourPop. I am going to be replacing those. I did not get any use out of these. I used them once. I think eyeliner is just something that I probably really should honestly get rid of every single eyeliner I have. I don't use them a lot. I just don't reach for this. This is just a step in my routine that I am definitely fine with skipping. But I am going to just leave all of the mascaras in here. I have one from Colourspell, which was sent in PR. I have a CoverGirl Eye Enhancer Mascara, the Tarte Tubing, the Too Faced Better Than Sex, the Refi Mascara, and then the Hella Thick Mascara from Fenty. I'm just going to be leaving all of those still in here. Okay, I had quite a few products here for complexion. I had, of course, the Charlotte Tilbury Bronzer. We'll move that one to the side so we can see what's underneath here. I had the Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Glow Blush Palette, a Laura Geller Highlighter, a Tower 28 Cream Blush, the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light one, the Highlighter in Spotlight, one of the new Rare Beauty blushes. I think this one was in the shade Cheer, a Win Beauty liquid blush, and then the Physicians Formula cream bronzer from the Diamond line. I'm going to be replacing all of these. I will say that I didn't get a lot of use out of these either, simply because I was trying a lot of new complexion products this time and I didn't get enough use out of this, and that's something I want to change going forward. So I am going to be replacing all of these, and I'm definitely going to be picking out some older products in my collection. For powders, I had these three. I want to say I don't believe I'd actually picked the CoverGirl one, but I like to keep that one in here at all times, at least one of the CoverGirl one, because I really like this powder. I know this is going to sound maybe weird, but I love this powder for putting on those, I don't know what you call them, the little things that like are on sunglasses where you can put some powder to keep them from leaving marks. I don't know why, but I like to use the CoverGirl powder for that, but I probably will remove this one. And then I had the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder in the light pink, and then the Laura Geller Powder Foundation. This is just not a good shade for me. It's too dark for me, so I had been using it as eyeshadow, but I didn't get much use out of it at all. I use these two the most, so I'm going to be replacing all of these. And then I had all of the lip products I picked out. I had the Charlotte Tilbury Plumpgasm in the light medium, one of the CoverGirl Clean Fresh lip balms, the Kosas lip oil, a Lawless lipstick in Wedding Day, a ColourPop lipstick in Aligned, the Laura Geller lipstick I have, and then I had three lip liners, the one from Laura Geller, a Too Faced lip injection, and then one of the Tower 28 liners, which I saw they launched 3 new shades in the Tower 28 liners. I definitely want to pick those up. Those are some of my most favorite liners. I'm going to be changing out all of these except for this. This is my favorite product. I'm leaving this one in, but the rest of these will be being replaced. Okay, now that I have just done a quick recap, now I'm going to be placing those products back and we will be picking out some new ones. Okay, top drawer here. We're going to start with my brow products, which I keep in a little container. Ooh, about to lose one. Right here. I want to try to use some of my most oldest products this time because I feel like last time I focused a little bit more on new stuff. So let's see, who might be the oldest pencil in my collection? That would probably be my Kosas Brow Pop pencil, so I will be pulling that one. As far as brow gel, I really believe about all of these are kind of recent, so I'm just going to use this little mini one I have here from Kosas. This is the Air Brow Gel. This is a little mini. I'm just going to use that one, pair it up with the Kosas pencil. And of course I will be keeping the Refi Brow Gel in my everyday makeup drawer too. I'm trying to use that one up. Okay, for primers, I have primers right here in this little section. I really want to have a better system for makeup, but I just don't really have a lot of space where I'm at now to really spread makeup out, to have like a large furniture piece to hold makeup. So this is the best I can do for now, but we're going to be picking 2 different primers. I want to try to pick some that are maybe like the oldest. So I think I am going to include this one in here because this would probably be my oldest primer, and this is the Cookies and Dreams putty primer. As you can see, I have a major pan in this. This is one of my favorite primers, so I want to get some more use out of this. You know, I think some of these are really about the same age. So you know what, I think I might use this one right here from CoverGirl. This is the Color Correcting Serum Moisturizer Primer. I'm going to include this one. This is like a glass bottle. I always thought that was really nice. Okay, and then these 2 sections right here are like my foundation. So I want to pick like maybe some of the older products that I haven't used in a long time. And I see one right here that I have definitely not gotten a lot of use out of. That is this right here from Say. This is their Slip Tint. What do they call this? Broad Spectrum SPF 35 Tinted Moisturizer. Mine is in the shade 2. I have not used this in a long time. Oh good, it doesn't expire until next January. So I definitely have some more time with it for sure. I definitely want to use it as much as I can to get the majority done before it does expire, since it does have that sunscreen in it. So I am going to be including this one. Part of me wants to just include that one since I do want to get some really good use out of that. But I feel like I should pick at least one more. And I'm going to pick this one right here. This is from Merit. This is like their minimalist complexion stick, and mine's in the shade Cream. And this just is kind of like, you know, a stick foundation. I have not used this in a very long time. So it's definitely probably another one that's getting kind of old in my collection. So I am going to be including this one. Okay, concealers and correctors are in this section right here. The oldest corrector I have is right here. This is the Smashbox and Becca Under Eye Corrector in the Fair Light. I think that's what the shade is. Yeah, Fairlight. I have huge pan in this. This is still one of my most favorite under eye correctors, so I want to get some good use out of that one. As far as concealer, I have a lot of those in here. I'm not sure who might be the oldest. I think maybe this one is one of them. This one right here from Say. This is the first concealer they had. I cannot read what's on the bottom of this little sticker. It looks like it's worn away, but this was the first concealer they come out with. I know they have a new one now, but this was the first one. It has been a long time since I've used this one, so I am going to include this one. As far as another older concealer, I want to say a lot of these are probably about the same age for the most part. So you know what, this time, let me put these all back. Now this one is newer. This is the new Refi concealer. I have only used this maybe once or twice, and I wasn't impressed the first 2 times I used it, so I want to include this one just to kind of get more of my thoughts on it, so I will be including that one. Okay, and I know it's really hard to tell, but back here and here are where I keep my powders. So I think I'm going to include, for my loose powder, I'm going to include this one right here from Rare Beauty. This is the setting powder in light. This is probably one of the oldest powders in my collection, and I really would like to get this used up, so I'm going to be including that one. And then I always like to have a pressed powder in my drawer as well. You know what, I might use this one right here from Essence. This is the Brighten Up Banana Powder. It's been a, well, I actually think I might have mine's broken. I might have included this one recently, but it's probably another one that's kind of older in my collection, so I'd like to get some good use out of that one, so we'll be including this one. Okay, the last thing that is in this drawer, you can't see it, but it's right here, is where I keep like my eyeshadow sticks, my eyeliners. I'm not gonna pick any of those this time. I just feel like it's not something I really reach for. I know I need to use the ones I have, but I just know I'm not going to reach for that. So I'm going to skip it for this month. I'm not going to force it. I want to actually use products that I do want to use. So that's all for this top drawer. So we're going to move on to the bottom drawer. Okay, here we have all my bronzers, highlighters, and my overflowing lip section. I have way too many lip products. Probably should really go through those and do another kind of like swatching everything and maybe do a declutter. I don't know. That might be coming soon. But for now, we'll just skip it. Okay, I'm going to start with my lip liners here. Now, I'm going to take these right here off the top since they're a little bit too long for my container, just so I can kind of see. I know there are a couple in here that are definitely older lip liners, so I want to definitely get some use out of some of those. Okay, I've pulled 4 lip liners here. 3 of them are from Joa, which I don't believe any of these 3 exist anymore. I don't even know if Joa still makes lip products, so I'm going to include those. And then I'm also going to include, this one used to be my absolute favorite lip liner. I still love it, don't get me wrong, but I haven't used it in a while. This is the NYX Slim Lip Pencil in the shade Natural. Let me swatch all of these. Okay, this first one right here from Joa is in the shade Rose. Oh, well, there we go. Looks like it kind of pushed back down. It's a pretty shade. The next one is the shade, wow, these are wanting to go back down. You can tell they're getting kind of old. This one's in the shade Blush. These were always really good lip liners. It's sad that they don't make these anymore. I don't know if they've redone some lip liners, I'm not sure, but I never had an issue with any of these. And then we had the one called Pink Nude, which would probably be my favorite out of these three. So we're going to be using those. And then here is the NYX one in the shade Natural, which is definitely still a favorite of mine. And I love wooden lip pencils better than I do the twist ups. I don't know why, but I just do. But here are the 4 lip liners that I'm going to be including this time. So I want to get some products that I know will kind of match these a little bit. For Lip Plumper, you did see where I decided to keep this one in from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Big Lip Plumpgasm. This is in the fair medium shade. And I'm also going to include the medium deep shade as well. I just love these so much. I'm not ready to put them back in this drawer, so I'm just going to leave these in my everyday makeup drawer. Well, this one's newer to me, but I love them both. But let me swatch these right quick. And there is the fair medium and the medium deep. These kind of have an icy, spicy kind of feeling on the lips. It's not bad, or I don't think so. I have seen some people say they don't like it, but that's just kind of like a personal preference. I love lip plumpers. I like the way they feel. Call me a little weird, but I just love the way lip plumpers feel. I don't know. There's just something about them. So I am definitely including these two. They're just so pretty. Now I do want to include a lip oil. Now I have lip oils spread all in here. I don't even know. I figured I'd go ahead and do my lip products first because the lips are usually what takes me the longest to try to figure out, and then we'll go in with bronzers and the highlighters. So let's see. With the lip oils, should I do one of the e.l.f. ones? Or this one from NYX, from Say. Maybe try to find one that might be the oldest, but if I went that route, then it would be this one right here from Lottie London. This is the Oil Slick Nourishing Lip Oil. I don't think this has a shade. I believe it's just, okay, it's called Extra Cherries. Now this is basically like a clear. It doesn't really have much going on, as you can see, but it's very nice, and I love the scent of it. It smells like really like a fruity scent. I don't know what that scent is. I believe this is like a mini size. I think they make this in a fuller size, but you can see I've used a lot of it. So I'm going to include this one again, get some good use out of it. Okay, so for lipsticks, now probably some of my older lipsticks would be like the ones I have from Milani, which would probably be these two and this. So you know what? I might actually include all 3 of these from Milani. I think they would make perfect match with these lip liners too. So let me swatch the 3 of these right quick. These are some of their, I think they call them matte fetish lipsticks, and this first one is the shade Pleasure. Oh yeah, that's a perfect shade for some of those. Then we have the shade Petal. And then we have the shade Secret, which would be my favorite out of the 3. Yeah, I think those are perfect with these lip liners that I picked out. Also with these as well, if I just want to top them with those. So I think that's nice. I'll go with those 3. And as far as lip glosses, probably the oldest ones would probably be maybe the ones I have from Lights Lacquer. No, that's not one. Let's see, where's my 3rd one? Oh, here you are. So I think I'm going to include these. Gosh, I wonder which one I love the most. So let me go ahead and swatch the 3 of these and show you these colors. Okay, the first one we have is Das Expensive, and this one is like a clear with some really pretty sparkle in it. Really lovely. Also, these smell so good. They smell kind of like a vanilla scent. Then we had the shade Miss Honey, which is like my favorite one. I love all 3 of them, don't get me wrong, but I really have used Miss Honey. It's just like a very, very sheer nude shade. Very pretty. And then we have the shade Alyssa. Swatch right there, which is this really pretty nude pink shade. I think that all these shades are so beautiful, and I think they will pair up so lovely with one another. So there are all my lip products. Okay, for bronzer and highlighter, I think I'm going to start with the highlighter since I have such a small collection of those. I don't really have a lot of highlighters. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here from Rare Beauty. This is probably the oldest one in my collection as far as liquid. This is the Light Luminizer in Enchant. It's like this really beautiful pinky shade. Just a really stunning shade overall. Love that. I might actually go in with this one. It's been a while since I've used this one. This is from Unearthly Cosmetics. This was their collab with Heather Alston. This is the Resurgence highlighter duo. These are very sparkly, as you can see all over the pan, and they're kind of got like a little bit of a shift to them. I'm hoping you can see that if I do it like that. So let me swatch both of these right quick for you to see. And then this is the deepest one. Now that one is way too deep for me, but what I like to use that one for is like for with my blush. Now for bronzer, I want to really, I know this is a newer product to me, but I really want to use this one from Makeup by Mario. This is the new Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. This is in Fair. I know this one looks a little weird in the bottle, but you have to shake this one up. So let me swatch this right quick after I shake this up to get the pigment to be okay. This product has both the pump and the little wand applicator. So I'm just going to use the wand to just show you the shade. But this is so pretty and so natural, and I really just want to get some good use out of it because it's newer to me and I just really want to get some more thoughts on it. I want to pick out some older products too, but I really want to try this more and more just because I just need to know. So we'll try to pick one of the older powder, and I think that would probably be, how about this one? This is one of the older bronzing powders in my collection. This one's from Essence. This is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder, which it's in the shade 1 Natural. It still smells just like coconut. This is a really pretty bronzer. You can just see it's very soft, it's very light, very pretty. So I'm going to be including that one. And that is everything from this drawer right here. So I'm going to now move on to my blushes, and then we'll also pick out 2 eyeshadow palettes, and that will be everything for this month's makeup drawer. Okay, we have my powder blushes on this side of this drawer. So now I definitely want to pick some older ones in my blush drawer for sure. So let me have a look, see what we got. We'll move a couple of these that are on the top. Now, I think some of the oldest would definitely probably be these from LA Colors. So let me see what these are. I think I see maybe 4 of them. I don't know if they're the same shades. Some of these I did keep like the same shades, but just in the newer and old packaging. Yeah, and that's what I did. So this is the newer packaging for these 2 shades. So I'm going to put these back in here. And I am going to include these 2 right here. We have Pink Blush and the shade Toast. Let me swatch those right quick for you. Okay, there we have the shade Pink Blush. It's probably really, I have a ring light like right here, so it's really probably hard to show you the shade, but it's a very soft pink shade. And then right next to it we have the shade Toast. Hoping I can kind of show you the shades a little bit. It's hard to show you, and ignore that. Those lip liners did not want to come off. Now, you can buy these at Dollar Tree, and some of them do have glitter in it, and this is one of the shades that does. I think that'll be good for the powder blush side because that's kind of like a cool tone and a warm tone, so I'm going to scoot the camera over here a little bit so we can look at the cream and liquid blushes. Okay, and then these that you're seeing right here are just like my Hourglass palettes. I might pull one of those. I'm not sure yet about that. I think this is definitely one that's really old in my collection. This is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush. This one is in the shade Maui. This is a really soft shade. It was one of my absolute favorites. So let's see if I can hopefully get my... Good thing I wore some shorter nails. Well, that's a terrible swatch, but you can kind of see what I mean. That ring light is just... But I'm filming this really early in the morning, so I have to have a ring light on. It's just a really pretty neutral blush shade, perfect for every day, and would really go with any eye look. Okay, I think I might want to go in with a liquid blush option since that was more of a cream. So I think I might go in with this one. This is a little mini size of the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. This one's in the shade Happy. Can definitely see that one. They're really pigmented, but such a pretty shade. So I'm going to be including these 2. And that'll be everything from the blush drawer. Okay, this is my high-end eyeshadow palette drawer. So the last palette I had from here was this one right here from Danessa Myricks. This is the Groundwork Defining Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I did not use this a ton, I will admit to that, but I did try to use it a couple more times. I did get it to work a little bit better for me, but it is still not a favorite palette for me. I just have other palettes that I enjoy more, but I do want to continue using it at some point, but this one will definitely be going back. So for eyeshadow palettes, I definitely want to have a colorful option and then a palette that is more neutral. Now, last time for the high end, I had a more neutral palette, and then for the drugstore, I had a colorful one. So this time I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to pick a colorful palette from the high end option. So there are two I have in mind. Oh, and also I forgot, my indie palettes are also in here too. I just kind of lump them with the high end because usually I find that indie brands are priced about the same as a high end palette would be for the most part. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. I just include them in here too. So I have two options. I'm looking at one from Natasha Denona, the Circo Loco palette, which is sitting right here. This is like probably one of the most colorful palettes I have in this category. And then I also have this one from Blend Bunny, the Machina palette. I believe this one's being discontinued, sadly. So if this was one you were wanting, I would definitely jump on it now before it is out of stock. So I think I might include this one this time. I've used this one a couple of times because I have a video here on my channel where I did, I think, maybe about 5 or 6 looks with this palette, so I do want to get some more use out of that. It is a really nice palette. It's very pretty. So we're going to be including this one. And then here is my drugstore eyeshadow palettes, and the one I had last time was this one right here from Wet n Wild. This was the Care Bears collection. This is such a really cute little palette, but I'm going to be putting this one back. For this drawer, I want to pick a more neutral option, so I want to pick something that maybe I haven't used in a long time. Okay, why don't we use this one right here? This is from Wet n Wild. This was their Coffee Cat palette. They don't sell this any longer. It was limited edition, but this is such a perfect neutrals palette. It still has a little bit of a scent to it. I don't know if coffee would be the right word for it, but it doesn't smell bad or anything, but I don't know if coffee is the scent I really get. It kind of smells like chocolate, but I think this would be a perfect option. I just love these beautiful tones in this palette. I think this was such a pretty palette. I wish they still made it because it's just so cute, and I love the kitty, so I'm going to be including this one. So there are my two eyeshadow palettes, so I'm going to put now all of my products back in my everyday makeup drawer. Okay, so now let's put all of these products right back into these drawers. And there is everything back into these drawers. So now I'm going to be doing a look using as many of these products as I can. So let's go ahead and get into that. So now it's time to use all of these products that I picked out. But first things first, I'm going to do a little bit of priming and everything. So I'm going to be using both primers I picked out. So first thing, I want to start with the CoverGirl Color Correcting, well, it's Serum, Moisturizer, and Primer. So I'm going to be using that one first. You can tell that had been sitting a while. Now I'm just going to keep this on the outside of my face because the other primer I'm gonna keep on like my T-zone area because it's like pore filling. So I'm just gonna put this one out here. And I do like this primer from CoverGirl. I think it's really nice. It's just kind of like an extra layer of moisture. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Cookies and Dream primer from e.l.f. And I'm just gonna apply that right here in like my T-zone area and on my nose. I feel like this primer does really help like my nose the most. It still smells nice. It still smells like cookies. Okay, and then for my lip prep, I'm going to be using this from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Big Lip Plumpgasm, and this one is in the medium deep shade. I like to let that sit on my lips before I get started with the rest of my makeup. That way it has time to really moisturize my lips. Kind of, I don't really feel like this plumps, but I feel like it evens out my lines a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeshadow first before I go in with any of my face steps. So this is the Wet n Wild Coffee Cat eyeshadow palette, and I'm first gonna take this shade right here in the palette on an e.l.f. Flawless concealer brush. I want to take that shade and set my eyeshadow primer. And this is just like a really big fluffy brush. So it's not going to deposit too much product. I just don't want my eyelid to feel as tacky as it kind of was feeling. I want my eyeshadow to lay really nicely over it. I'm going to go in with this shade right here on a Sigma E24. And I'm going to start running that into my crease. I have not used this palette in a while, and it was always a good palette. I wish they still sold it. It's just a really pretty neutral palette that's perfect for every day. I am going to be using the Blend Bunny Machina palette as well, but I just want a pop of color with that one. I mostly want this to be a neutral look, and then I'm just going to take one or two shades from this palette just to kind of give me a little bit of a pop of color. The dress that I'm wearing today has pink in it, so I definitely want to use some pink shades from that palette. Using that same brush, I'm going in with this shade right here. Now this shade has a little bit of some sparkle to it. It's kind of like a satiny kind of shade, but I want to place that right around the edge of that shade I just placed down. Could definitely go in back with the shade that you use to set your eyeshadow primer to if you want. Just want to add a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shimmer. It's nice and subtle, like it's not chunky shimmer or anything, it's just subtle. I think it's nice to kind of sometimes blend out a matte shade into your brow bone area with a shimmer shade, so you can just add that little, very subtle highlight. These shades blend out really easily. Using that same brush, I'm going in with this shade right here. I just picked up a very small amount of that. If you have watched my videos in the past, you know how I like to keep my eyeshadows as soft as possible. I don't really add a ton of depth to my looks. This is such a nice palette. I really wish this was still available. I just think it's perfect. It's like the perfect warm tone neutral palette that was at an affordable price point. And I know there are plenty of palettes out there that look just like it, but it's just a really nice formula. Just super easy to work with. I think it'd be very beginner friendly, or if you're someone that, you know, you don't really like to spend a lot of time blending, I think that this would be the perfect palette for you. I like to press most of that pigment closer to the lash line and then work it up, so there's not as much deposited into the crease, simply because I just find it easier for me to blend and work with shades when I do it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use a Sigma E57 brush, and I'm going in with this shade right here, Attract, from the Machina palette. And place that right here. I'm going to pat that down because these shades definitely work way better if you pat them. They're very pigmented. Oh, that's a pretty shade. That's perfect. It definitely matches the pink that I'm going to be wearing today, because what I'm wearing right now while I'm filming is not the dress that I plan on wearing. The dress that I have that I'm going to wear has a little bit more white in it, and then it has like these really pretty pink flowers in it. So I didn't really want to wear that dress while I was doing my makeup. I was afraid I'd get makeup on it. I like that really pretty subtle pink. Now, using that same brush, I'm going in with this shade right here, Mortality. I'm just taking a small amount of that shade. A very, very small amount. Like, I'm talking just a few, maybe 2 taps into that shade. And I'm going to place that right here in between those 2 shades. I don't even know if you can see it. It's just very, barely there sparkle. Because that shade can be pretty pigmented, but I just want a very subtle, soft look. So that's the way I love to wear makeup. Like, I mean, well, makeup in general, but color I definitely like to wear on the softer side. If I'm going to wear color, which I don't... Pink's very subtle anyway, or this pink shade is very subtle, but it's so pretty. This is a nice palette. I'm sad to see that it is being discontinued. That new palette from Blend Bunny is really pretty. I can't think of what the name of it is. Longing, I believe? That's a pretty palette. I've been tempted by that one. This palette right here, the Machina palette, this was my first Blend Bunny palette, and I don't know. I figured that this would not have been the first choice I would have made from the brand, but there was something about this palette. I think it might have been this beautiful artwork. I don't know. Something made me really want this palette, and I bought this palette on launch day, and usually I don't really do that a lot. I think that's so pretty. I'm just going to apply my Refy mascara, and I will be right back to do... We'll start with foundation after that. For foundation, I'm going to wear this one from Say. This is the Slip Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 35 Tinted Moisturizer, and mine is in the shade 2. I have not used this in a long time. Okay, that is a very thick foundation. I might have picked up too much. This looks pink. Is this supposed to be pink? Okay, and I've sprayed my little Real Technique sponge here, and I'm just gonna press that in. I mean, I've sprayed it with setting spray. I have one here that I'm about to have an empty on. I have not worn this one in so long. I don't remember much about this product. I don't even remember if I like it. That's how long it's been. I want to say I did, but I really, with it, when it comes to Say, I really love their Glowy Super Skin Foundation, I believe is what it's called. I really love that one. That's a nice foundation. I'm glad this doesn't look as pink. When I first was applying it, it looked like it almost had like a pinkness to it. It actually looks really pretty. I come in closer to my mirror here to see, and it looks really nice, like it's laying really nice on the skin. Okay. For my under eyes, I'm going to first go in with this Smashbox and Becca under eye brightener. This is the Fair Light shade. I have quite a bit of pan on this product. It is one of my most favorite correctors. I'm going to spread that out with a brush first. Then I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of blend the rest of that in. This is one that I could absolutely wear on its own. Like, I don't have to put a concealer over the top of it if I don't want to, but I have one here, of course, that I'm going to be using, but that's one thing that I like about this product. I really love a corrector where if I don't want to, I don't have to put a concealer over the top to kind of hide the tone of the corrector. That's one of the reasons why I love that Cali Ray corrector that I have in Pale Sun, because I can wear it on its own as concealer and corrector, and it's perfect. And I feel that way about this one too. For concealer, I have this one right here from Say. I believe this is the Hydra Beam concealer. I might have that wrong because I know Say has two different concealers. Put a little bit right there because that looks a little bit brighter. I don't want too much brightness on my under eyes. I know when I was first picking this product out from my everyday makeup drawer, I popped up a picture of this one, like a screenshot from Sephora's app, so you can see which one I'm talking about, but I think it's the Hydra Beam, because I want to say the new one is the Slip Tint. Okay, I'm going to go in with this product right here from Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. This one's in the shade Fair. This is a much newer product, so I'm just going to... It's very sheer, so I don't mind applying a little bit more because it just shears right out. And this is a pointed powder brush from e.l.f. I don't know if this is a good brush for this or not, but I'm going to try it. I usually love this brush for powder bronzers, but I don't know if I've ever tried it. That hair is stuck to my face. I don't know if I've ever tried it with a cream bronzer, but I think it looks, yeah, like it's did a pretty good job. Blended that out really nicely. But this is just a very sheer product. I feel like I actually get more product when I use the pump, but I was trying to use the little applicator today. I feel like you don't pick up a lot on the applicator. I really do like this product though. I think it's so pretty and just so natural. You can just see. It just gives like the most, just a kiss of like you got the sun, like just a little bit of a sun kiss vibe. Very minimal, and I love that. And it worked really nicely with this brush. So for highlighter, I'm going to be using this one from Rare Beauty. This is the Liquid Luminizer in the shade Enchant. I'm just going to take maybe one dot on that side. And then this is a Flawless Face Brush from e.l.f. I'm about to put a blush over the top of that. Ooh. This is such a pretty product, but I feel like it goes to waste a lot because I just don't use highlighter. I'm someone that definitely prefers to just skip highlighter. I think it's pretty, but I don't know. I think it's mostly because I just like for my other face products to have a little bit of a glow, like my foundation or something like that, to where I feel like I don't really need an extra step. But these are pretty. And the blush I'm going to be using is from e.l.f. This is the Luminous Putty Blush. This one is in the shade Maui. I feel like this is such a pretty soft color. Okay, I don't know if this brush will get into this little pot. I'm going to try. No, I think it's going to get on there some. It's probably not going to pick up a lot, but that's actually a good thing for me. Alright, we're going to place that over the top, hoping that it picked up something. I'm seeing a little bit. Yes, there it is. Oh, that's so pretty. It's been a while since I've used these luminous putty blushes. I think I have 2 shades, maybe? Look how pretty. Oh, love it. A little bit more right in here. Have a little bit of a blushy cheek. I feel like this brush really helps diffuse the product too because it's so fluffy. Does anybody else love applying blush? I just feel like it's like the happy step. Oh my, look how wet my face looks like. Of course, I am going to go in with some powder on my T-zone because I need to. I love glowy skin, I really do, but I do need to set a little bit on my under eyes because I'm sure I'm a little bit far away from my mirror, but I can already probably see that it's creasing. So I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty setting powder. This one is in the shade Light. Let me see how these under eyes are looking. Actually, it's not creased as bad as I thought it would be, but I'm gonna take this brush right here. This is a foundation brush from e.l.f., by the way. I just kind of want to pat it so you can see what that looks like. Just need a little bit, and then I'll leave all of this glowy, but I want to really set my T-zone area at least. It actually wasn't as creasy under here as I thought it would be, considering that this is such a glowy, creamy kind of concealer, but it actually looks pretty good. Just need to set my T-zone area a little bit, and I'm going to place some of that excess powder on these brows too, so they're not too slippery when I go to put my brow product in. And then you can still see all that glow. Of course, this powder still keeps you a little bit glowy. It's not going to fully mattify. I know that they have a new, I don't know if it's out yet, the new pressed powder that's coming soon. I believe that has more of a mattness to it. I'm not sure. I want to try it just to see, because I like this one. So I am just going back in with this shade right here from the Coffee Cat palette, and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line all the way across. I have a new candle burning behind me right now, and it smells like soap. I don't know quite how I feel about that. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is Switch, and I'm going to pop that right here on this inner corner. And kind of sweep some of it right under here, and then right there. Just a really subtle little pop of sparkle. Okay, and here is this eye look. Okay, I need to do these brows now, so I'm going to be using my Kosas Brow Pot pencil. This one is in the shade Dark Brown. This is one of my most favorite brow pencils. Like, if I'm going to pick one that I would definitely repurchase, it would be this one, simply because I think this is the closest to my actual brow hair color that I've ever found. It's just like a perfect match. Now I'm going to be wearing the Kosas Air Brow Gel in this part of my brow, and then I'm going to be using the Refi one. Now I will say the Kosas one holds these little hairs in place pretty well, but I am trying to use up that Refi one because I feel like I'm getting close to having an empty with that one, and I want to use it daily if possible so I can finish it. I do have a backup already of that one, and I'm ready to put this one in my empties and then open a fresh tube. But I do like this one from Kosas. I would definitely buy this one in the full size because this was like it's coming a little set for like a birthday gift at Sephora, and I just really like it. So I would definitely buy a full size of that because I like it. Then we're going to use the Refi Brow Gel in the beginning portion. For lip liner, I'm going in with this NYX pencil. This is the Slim Lip Pencil in the shade Natural. This is one of my most favorite lip liners, and I love a wooden lip pencil. Can just fill in the lips with this. Then I'm going to take Milani, I think these are called the Matte Fetish lipsticks. This one's in the shade Pleasure, which is my favorite out of the three I own. And then over the top, I'm going to be placing this gloss from Light's Lacquer. This is the Jelly Balm Lip Lacquer in the shade Das Esspensive. I can't say that the way Kathleen does. She can really say it. And there we have this completed makeup look. I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you are alerted to all my future uploads. Follow me on Instagram at Jessica Dearly, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!